I will. This is the official hello to our crew at the studio. We miss you guys.
We miss you guys.
And
we can't wait to get
look
back
at us.
together.
Yeah, look at us, all grown up, like, you know, trying to do it on our own. But we do miss you. It's a lot easier when you guys take care of everything and all we get to do is come up and say hi and talk, right?
Be the talent, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, all right, well, let's get in. Let's dive in a little bit with Little Baba. We've got Marcy Boku and Fran and John in the house tonight, literally in the house.
In our house.
In our home.
You guys have been doing some super serious quarantining, haven't you? Because I know John doesn't live with you, but you've all been taking it very seriously, and so you let John into the bubble tonight.
Yeah, we sprayed him with bleach before he came in the house.
Yeah,
I see. It seems to have worked really well on his beard.
His beard got a little bleached. Yeah.
I love that beard, John. I love it.
Well, we have taken it very seriously because, you know, number one, we're not young. So, we're at risk because of our ages, I guess, which is hard to believe.
Yeah.
But we also have elderly parents, and we have a lot of friends, and we just really do not want to increase anybody's risk. So we've taken it super seriously, and
totally.
Yeah, John lives down in Waupaca County in the middle of the woods. He's basically been most quarantine person I know. And, you do have your groups of friends that you could trust that have been at that level of quarantine. Yep. And then you have this little bubble of people. And so he's in our bubble, right?
Bubbling.
He's bubbling back there.
It's a sweet bubble. I like it.
Oh, it's a sweet bubble.
Tell us a little bit about Little Baba, because, I mean, I know Big Baba, and of course I know you guys all individually too, but give me some backstory on how you all came together. Like, I want to hear the history of that, and whoever wants to talk. Don't let it only be Marcy, Fran. Yeah. Fran, you tell us some stuff.
Well, John, you started.
Well, I heard that Dr. Charlie and Fran were getting together and making music.
How many years ago was that? 25 or 30 years ago?
25, 30, 35.
35 years. 30
I bet
years,
it was 35 years ago. It could very well be.
It was at least 30.
But so Fran and I and Charlie were getting together, and Marcy came along and said, "Can a girl come and play?" We said yes.
But I said it snottily.
A girl can come.
No, Marcy, I can't even imagine that.
So John and I actually started working at the hospital together. We're both nurses, and Fran at the time was a nurse, and Charlie was a doctor. So it was sort of like this group of medical people. And every time we'd go out for our cigarette breaks, which John smoked and I didn't, but I always went out with him because we were like buddies when we started working together. He would always just be going on and on about how much fun he was having playing music, and I was getting like really tired of it. Like, shut up, And I just said, "Well, can girls come too?" And he's like, "Sure." So that's how we started, and we started out calling ourselves the Living Room Band. We played every single week for I don't know how many years. It was like our church, basically.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In
And,
the living room.
Yeah, and so we all got to be like super tight friends because, people that play music together, it's a relationship, really. Playing music is a relationship for many people. And so we had a really great times with that and started playing out a little bit. A few different people would join us at times, and it sort of started upping the ante a little bit. I started, being a little bit more outward with the songs I had written. We all gained confidence, and I think that just over the years, people came and went through that group. My brothers, I have two brothers that are musicians, and they started coming to the group, and then, of course, because my brothers and I have played music literally our entire lives, and were raised on Steely Dan in Chicago, and Led Zeppelin and all that, we started like really wanting to play that music together, and then it sort of notched it up, and that's how we became Baba Ganoush. So some of the Living Room Band people didn't come up to the Baba Ganoush. They didn't really want to play out, in bars, basically.
they wanted to stay at home in their living room.
They wanted to stay at home,
like we have to now.
So it's full circle. Yeah,
totally.
It's very funny. But anyway, that's the story.
That's awesome. 35 years. I mean, that's amazing. When you look at the scope of like how many different bands there are on the planet, I don't think that there are a lot of bands that can say, like 35 years. That's
not too many.
You guys are like in that upper echelon of
the bands that are like family bands, because it's not like we always get along. I mean, my brothers and I fight a lot, and Fran and I fight a little bit.
I don't fight with anybody.
John just like smiles the whole time for 35
That's because
smiling.
John's the Zen master in the group.
He is the Zen master.
He's the meditative soul in the group, right, John?
I don't know. Yeah.
So real quick before we have another song, because I know that, I like just talking story, but I know if Josh were in the booth, he'd be going like this right now. Yep. So before we go to the next song, I just want to know one more thing. Why Baba Ganoush? Like, why that song? Or that name?
It comes from John.
So John's son.
Let John tell.
You want to talk about it?
I bought some baba. I never had heard of it, but I bought some baba ganoush. Somehow I got a container of baba ganoush, and I just thought, now there's a band name.
Yeah.
In New York City.
I love it.
Well, it's
also
Village.
simple.
His son went to art school in New York City, and so John and Murdy, his beloved wife, may she rest in peace, would go there a lot and visit Zach, and they went to this cafe called the Moustache Cafe.
Moustaches.
And they have the best gosh dang baba ganoush on the planet. And so when he said that was part of it, I think. And we thought, okay.
We needed a name because we're starting to play out more.
Yeah, we needed a name.
And we were still called the Living Room Band. We played for a wedding and up by Iola, and the wedding party had set us up in a garage, but then they were all off somewhere in the yard, and we were back in this garage, and all we could see was an empty space, and we just kept playing, and periodically someone would peek around and go, hi. And when their wedding was all over, they came and they said, now what was your name again? The Back Porch Band or something like that?
Yeah, that's right.
So we better get a different name. So
Well, I like it. It suits you guys for sure. And Fran, I just want to compliment you on your T-shirt tonight. You've brought another musician along for the ride.
Yeah, this is from an arts board event.
It's from our Bach Festival.
Bach Festival, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we welcome Johan to the circle.
Yes.
And go ahead and introduce your next song.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take my headphones off when we start playing.
Okay.
So you know.
So this song is called Backroads, and I think it's about, just getting super, super busy. You're in a relationship, and then, over time you sort of start taking each other for granted, I think. Mm-hmm. Not that I was taking you for granted. Okay.
No,
let's just get that out there right there.
Yes. Yeah. Not that I was. I mean, a person could take a person for granted, and you get very busy and you stop seeing each other and hearing each other, and that's kind of what this song is about. And it's sort of inspired by we have some land up near Scandinavia, and so it's got a little map of how to get to the land. Take the back roads around the bend, across the creek. So that's sort of part of the song. It's cheesy, I know.
That's cool. Marcy, when was the song written?
I don't know. I never date these things. I should do that.
When we come back after this song, I want you to show us that. But go ahead.
Okay.
Take it away.
All right. I'm going to take my headphones off if that's okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. The back roads. no map, no compass. It's just us two. We'll find our way back to the place where we began, where love was new, and there was me, there was you. Back to the place where love was new, and there was me, there was you. Back to the place where love was new, and there was me, and there was you. I'm falling, falling, falling.
That was so beautiful. Oh my
Thank
goodness. Aww. This is fun. It's about time you invite me into your living room for some music.
Yeah.
It's a little dirty right now.
It's really, I mean, this whole pandemic, everybody's like, oh, I got all my closets clean and I did da da da. Our house is a freaking pigsty.
I know
just-
those things haven't happened here either. The first week, I sat down with a notebook, a piece of paper, and I made this whole list. I was like, whoa, spring cleaning's going to happen like
Yeah,
it's never
yeah.
happened before. It's going to be
Oh.
like amazing.
I know, we were going to become minimalists.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
did.
we've already kind of like come down that road some, but that whole spring cleaning thing, like not a thing has been touched on that list, you guys, and it's almost summer solstice.
I know.
The list is lost under all the junk laying around.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that song. It was amazing. Marcy, I want to talk to you
welcome.
about your special book that you have on the piano. I know
Okay.
that's like, you probably have more than one of those, right?
I
With
do.
35 years of experience. Tell us about it.
Well, actually, I'm sitting on my piano bench and it's chock full of papers and scraps and tablets and stuff. So I use I make up a lot of songs, and some of them kind of get launched and become what I call real songs. It's kind of like the Velveteen Rabbit is what it's like for me. And so they become real. And if they're real, they go in this book. Then there's another book they go in if they are kind of and then if they're really crappy, they just stay on a scrap of paper. And
Okay.
that's just
So-
my system. That's my system. So
Yeah, that's great. And
This
the
is the
scraps
real
of paper
songs.
could be like, just how does this like bring us into the creative process a little bit? Like that's for both of us. That's one of our most favorite things to talk about with other musicians.
Yeah.
And so bring us in. You did a little bit with the book, but like you said, scraps of paper. So does it like are you ever just grocery shopping and you're like, oh my god, and then you have to like fumble for a piece of paper and write an idea down?
yeah, that's a little bit how it works. So I'll get I'll get like a idea of a song, and I think that I'm the type of a songwriter that, I mean, I didn't really like say to myself, I want to become a songwriter. I just started getting all these songs, and it kind of started when I was young. And so I'd say that most of my songs are really have some sort of autobiographical thing, which is why people are afraid of me, because they think I'm going to write a song about them if they make me mad. So anyway. Like, I mean, it's funny you mentioned the grocery store, because I was at the grocery store one time, and this is when, remember when it was Red Owl? It was.
I mean,
It was in the Goodwill store. That's how long we've lived here. But
okay.
anyway, I was walking down the frozen food aisle, and there's this guy. He's an Elvis impersonator, right? I just kept seeing him all over the place, and I started getting really paranoid, like, why am I seeing the Elvis guy all the time? And so I saw him, the last time I saw him was at the grocery store, and I just was like, oh my God. And then I just got this song, and it was like a song with like crazy music in it. And that's how songs hit me, so something will happen and spur a thought. And then I usually will get like pretty much most of the song, like the music and the sort of theme of the lyrics all at once. And so the hardest part for me is the lyrics because I'm super forgetful. So if I don't write them down, so like I said, I grab a scrap of paper, I have like some notebooks, all these papers all over the place with little snippets of lyrics. And
now you can do voice memos in your phone.
Now I can do, but then my phone gets full, so then I'm screwed there. But anyway,
right.
So it takes a while for me to pull it together, and then it gets into that process, and then I go through this period almost every time of, okay, is this somebody else's song? Did I hear this somewhere else?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously? Because that happens to me every single time. Because the song comes in and it's so natural. It's like, wait, I must be copying something else. It sounds so familiar. Like, what is this?
So
I've never heard anyone else say that.
That's a really, actually, to me, a very important point because, there's only so many notes and chords. Right. And we're all the product of our musical upbringing. And so you may have some elements or, some kind of like favorite things that you like in songs, but it's probably based on something that you really liked from another song. And so I go through this super paranoid period of time where I think, and I usually say to Fran, did you ever hear this before? And he's like, well, sometimes he'll be like, oh yeah.
Just like this.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn it. Oops, sorry, Josh.
God darn it.
Sorry, Josh. Can we get like a?
The heck.
I gotta watch it, man. Okay, we're not allowed to swear on the radio. Anyway,
we're supposed to keep it rated G because families join us.
Yes, all the time, don't they? Anyway, so that's my story. I think I get real paranoid that I've heard it before, and then so Fran is usually the first layer of listening. Sometimes they don't make it to that point. I've got a whole book thicker than this probably that has songs that have never made it, and they never will, and they're going to go to the grave with me.
Okay. And we are not going to follow you there. We're not going to dig it up, and we're not going to look.
They're only up here.
Okay,
and I don't write the music down mostly because I am not a very good note reader, writer person. So that all is just in my head, which makes it really hard for like the band to learn a new song because there's nothing to go from. It's
right.
But anyway,
so I have another question about like when the music. So the music comes through you. Have you, as a group, have you ever worked on a song together? Like, do these guys, like you come up with the part that's yours, and then do you say, okay, Fran, bring that mandolin in, and what happens? What happens next? Like, do each of you write your parts?
Some part of the time you play the song, me or one of your brothers particularly will sit down with it, and you find your part. Your part seems to flow through you.
Yeah.
And there are some harmony parts that John and I just come up with, and there are some harmony parts that Marcy already has in her head and says, this is your part. And sometimes they'll change too as the song is evolving.
Yeah.
And the harmonies could be vocal harmonies, but also just harmonies in the instrumentation and stuff?
Yeah.
So then when they get out of our house, then they go to the band, to my brothers, which is really...
Well, some of them, not too many.
Not all of them, but some of them get to that point. And they have to be like super brave songs because my brothers are kind of like they don't pull any punches. And like sometimes they'll say, well, that's the wrong chord there. Oh. And it's like...
It's kind of like too many cooks in the kitchen then sometimes. Too many musicians in the kitchen.
They add a lot. Like, they've put in... Like, they've actually... I guess... I look back at our albums and I think...
The ones on the CDs.
The ones on the CDs. And there was a lot of collaboration. And I don't know if I ever properly gave them credit. Because one song, like The Temple of the Martyr, actually... I think my brother Rod wrote the bridge for that. He's like, why don't we change the key here and do this cool thing? And... they did a lot of that, and they contribute just a ton. And they're like, this song needs this, and this song needs that.
That's awesome.
So it's really kind of a family process. And
so let's take this opportunity right now then to like lift up your family, give them thanks and kudos for everything that they've done to make the grand Baba Ganoush even greater, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you have 2 CDs, Marcy. I think, did you bring them out so that you could hold them up and say, here they are?
I will get them out right now.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that vintage box.
That's this one. And these are old.
Oh, that's great. Look at you on there. Such a cutie. Oh, my goodness.
And we'll have to have we'll have a whole nother show where
that's awesome.
I talk about the hilariousness of producing these because, so, you know, my brother's being in the band, but we also had some friends like Paul Garber played on some. My son played, you know, he was still a young person in high school, but he was a musician. My daughter played violin. My niece Hillary sang on some songs.
A whole bunch of nieces and nephews sang background.
Nieces and nephews sang on these peace songs that we did. Nick and Jonah,
Jonah,
our youngest son, and Katie. I mean, it was just a very joyous experience recording these CDs. It was really, really fun, and
that's excellent.
Really was a family event.
And I hear that there's like another CD, a new CD, kind of being talked about.
Yeah, I would really like to. I'm going to try to produce a CD that's all on, you know, on the internet, and I want it to be like a video album. So we have some ideas about doing that, and just you know, trying to weed through the songs that would be on there. So
it's probably an excuse to buy some new clothes.
Buy some new clothes.
Yeah, so you can wear them on a video.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I love you, Fran.
I love you too.
I so love you. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know that it's time for us to bring another song in. Josh has been doing this like wrap it up for lots of minutes. Hi, Josh. So I know that this next song is a little bit feely, like in a. I'll let you talk about it a little bit. And we're in feely times right now. These times that we're navigating, I mean, we've heard all these words like unprecedented and uncertain, and certainly those words fit. And there are, times like these, there are so many words. And I think no matter who we are, no matter what it is that we're experiencing, all of us have our reality where it feels a little intense and a little challenging and strifey right now. And I think it's really important for all of us to acknowledge that no matter where we are, it's okay, and it's okay to accept that and to embrace each other and to really, this is not a time for us. There's so much separation right now. There's some stuff that's happened just recently that it's like, for me, I can't even watch the news. I can't even, because it just vibes separation, and I feel like at a time when we're meant to be being more compassionate and more loving and more caring and more tolerant and more harmonious and more accepting, I just see humanity like doing other stuff. But I know that there's still compassion, and there is still kindness, and there is still good. And we all need to rise up in that and let that voice be heard. And we can't embrace each other physically right now, but we can. This is a kind of embrace, you know, when you get together in music, it's a way to feel love. It's a way to feel belonging, and it's a way to feel connection. And enough of my soapbox, but I'll get all emotional and I'll start crying, and it's not a good thing right now.
You go right ahead.
Well, that's the point. I mean, we're all very emotional, and this song kind of comes from that place. I think we were going through a rough patch. And the song kind of literally came out to me like in the middle of the night. And then we had a family tragedy. John's wife passed away shortly after I wrote this song. And it felt like this song was for Murdy. And now I feel like it's for George Floyd and his family, and all of the people that are oppressed, and all of the people everywhere in our country, in the world, that are suffering. So this is my song of, you know, people, there are good people, a lot of us, and we do want to help, and we really can't do much other than be there for each other. So that's what this song is about.
Thank you.
All right.
love that one. That's one that I have heard you share before, and I love it so much. And it means even more now, knowing what it, what inspired that, and now in these times. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my goodness.
You're welcome.
So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's joining us for the show. You are listening and watching Waupaca Local Live online. I am Deb Gerke.
Oh, you didn't introduce yourself.
Yeah, we didn't even do this. I'm Deb Gerke, and this is Marcy Boku, part of Little Baba, and also my amazing co-host on Waupaca Local Live. This has really been a treat. Oh my goodness. I just wanted to let you know that Pam Reynolds has commented.
Oh, Pam!
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Hi, Pam.
Pam said, I never knew the name of that one, but I never listened to the words. Like Pam's feel in it. Isn't that so great?
That's nice.
And Tasha.
Hi, Tasha. Yep, hi, Tasha.
She says hi, and she's telling Pam that you all need to play that one more. It's beautiful. And Lori is saying hi, too, saying beautiful, Marcy and Fran. Lori York.
Oh, hi, Lori. Oh, my gosh. I went to middle school and high school with Lori. Hi, I love you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Still connected after all these years.
We also have Gail Springsteen.
Oh,
she
hi,
says,
Gail.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so these are just a few of the people that have joined the watching the show with us right now on Facebook Live. And oh my gosh, and Hillary just popped in saying hi, Hillary. Yay.
Hi, Hillary.
So thank you all so much for joining us out in Facebook Live land. This is Waupaca Local Live online, and we're having so much fun.
And it's working. It's great.
Beautiful.
So
it is working.
What's cool is that after this live version, and this is actually what we do with all of our shows, then it goes into like a production mode, and they work with the sound quality, and then they produce a really great YouTube video. So that will be coming out probably a week from Friday, right? If we're still on our schedule. I don't know.
Yeah.
This will be our June show, I guess, right?
Josh isn't here to ask that question, but right. I know that he usually like promises and over delivers.
Yeah, he does.
Is that the right way,
yes,
right? Like he says, oh, it's going to be a week, and then 2 days later, it's fantastically up already. So props to Josh and the studio crew once again. We miss you. We hope that we are able to be back in the studio at some point, but we're making the best of this, you guys, and thanks for working with us to take what we capture tonight and still get it out there to everyone.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. So... what else do we want to talk about, Marcy? We've got just a few minutes to talk, and I know you have another song.
Yeah, I've got one more song. I guess I would just put a plug in for, the fact that so many things have been canceled. Literally everything this summer in Waupaca that makes Waupaca cool has been canceled for good reason.
Well, we're busy, though. We have another gig in a few minutes over in the dining room.
That's excellent. And I've seen people streaming like past the windows waiting. You're going to crack the window for that one, right? So that they can... Yeah, that's amazing. That's so great. Of course, they're all social distancing outside the window. No one is standing super close to each other. And I'm really happy to see everyone wearing their masks. Isn't that so amazing? Let's all just envision that responsible choice.
Right. And I think our city has been really great that they've sort of stood behind our public health department's recommendations, and we as arts organizations have done the same. And so Arts on the Square is canceled, Summer Nights Concerts, Strawberry Fest, Iola Car Show, so many things. So the Arts Board has been working on some alternate things, and they will be announced very, very soon by June 1st, all the different fun things. And there's also an arts network in town that's doing an event called Make Music Day on June 21st. So I just want to point people to that Facebook page because there's a lot of participatory, some of it's hands-on, it's not all online, ways that everybody in town can make music, because I really feel that everybody has music in them. I've been teaching piano for a couple years now, and believe it or not, because I didn't take piano lessons myself, but I did go to piano teacher school. Okay, what?
Seriously?
Yes.
Like, you have never outed yourself for that. You always ask. Every time we have someone on the show, you ask who was your piano teacher, and you stress the importance of taking lessons.
Yeah, it's very important. I take that back. I did take lessons when I was in 7th grade. My mom found a teacher. See, my mom was a concert pianist, and so she didn't want to force it on me. So then I just learned by ear, and I have a pretty good ear, so I was able to play classical music by ear, but I wasn't able to read music very well. So she put me in piano lessons with this girl, and I was like, I kind of wanted to take piano, but what I really liked was my teacher was a hippie from Lawrence University, and she lived in a one-room studio apartment on the 3rd floor on College Avenue. And so by taking piano lessons, I got to go and like pretend I was a hippie. And so
you never went back.
And
yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that pretty much that was a strong imprint.
Yes,
I think.
It was. So I did, I got pretty far, like the Class A solo ensemble list level, so not expert, but pretty good. And then, of course, I went to college as I was going to be a music major, but I got outed actually in college because I wasn't really able to read music very well. And my audition went great, but then when they put music in front of me, it was really apparent that I was a fraud. Anyway, so then life happened. I won't tell you the whole long, boring story, but now I am teaching piano, and I have taught it before, but I did take a piano pedagogy course. And so I take it pretty seriously. And
the Royal Conservatory.
Yeah, through the Royal Conservatory in Canada.
Out of Toronto.
And the thing is with the pandemic, of course, you really couldn't do anything, and the kids had to stay home. And so I just heard that some teachers were going to try teaching on Facebook or Zoom. So I offered that to my students, thinking there was this one particular student that would want to do it. Well, most of the students signed up for it. And so I've been doing that, and it's been, really a lot of insight and fun. And in June, we're going to start reuniting with the students, but we're going to do it in a little screen tent in my yard with my band piano.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool because I think that, there's going to be piano music being played in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and
that's so
at
great.
least the kids, they don't necessarily really like doing everything on Zoom. And so at least we need to connect somewhat. I'm going to stay, socially distanced from them, and
probably won't let me cut the lawn while you're...
You can't cut the lawn while we're doing piano lessons.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be real conducive to the situation. Right. Good thinking, though, Fran. Way to be on top of that. Good job.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's fun. The funnest thing for me about teaching the piano lessons is that I get to hang out with kids because our kids are grown and gone. And between Fran and I, we have 5 kids.
And 8 grandchildren.
8 grandkids, and they're all over the country. We don't get to see them a lot. And so this next song is kind of a celebration of, we love our kids, and we wish they were close, but, at some point you have to kind of, and this, Deb, you have to kind of say, okay, it's just you and me now. And that's what this next song is about. So it's called.
Oh, that's awesome! I love the emotional journeys you've taken us on tonight, and I appreciate that you're taking us out on this happy high road. I like that.
This is actually a happy song.
Okay, so before you take that away, because I think this is the closing of the show, we want to give major gratitude to you guys for being in your living room. John, thanks for coming out of the woods and coming into Marcy and Fran's bubble to play along.
Thank you.
I heard some.
Look at his beard. Isn't it awesome?
I love it so much, and I think it's so great that you sprayed bleach on him when he got there because it got so white.
Nice and white.
Yeah, I'm really loving that.
It also gets the ticks off of him because he lives in
right, yeah. So see, it's good. It's dual purposed. It's lots of benefits. That's amazing. So thank you to Marcy and Fran and John for being with us on Waupaca Local Live Online. We love you guys so much. I love you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
And you guys, one more important thing. Marcy's music, those 2 CDs she held up, they are on Spotify. She doesn't even know how they got there. She doesn't know who put it there. She doesn't know how to log in. But guess what?
Yep.
I clicked follow, and you can too. So go to Spotify, click follow on Marcy Beaucoup on Spotify. You'll be able to listen to both of her CDs, and we'll all together look forward to the new one that's going to get co-created real soon. Okay, guys, take it away.
You're a natural.
Thank you, Deb. You're an awesome solo host.
Well, let's not talk about that.
All right. You ready? A lot of my songs have little snippets. It's like my own version of sampling. So you may have heard, like, one of the songs had a falling at the end.
I did catch that.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And this song has a special ending, too, and you have to listen for it, okay?
It's pretty obvious.
It comes at the end.
Yeah.
I got my headphones on. I'm ready.